Why, hello there. Welcome back to 2B2T. We are here in the Nether collecting resources because, well, we used to have them, but now we don't. So we must get them if we want to continue to build and do all of our cool stuff and whatnot. So we're here just mining away. We've actually been mining away for about an hour now, filling up shulks of basalt, um, blackstone. Excuse me, quartz, um, you name it. Everything that we come across here in the Nether. Um, and yes, we're mining fast because we set up a beacon. And no, this is not at our base. We went back to actually back to our Fusionia, the original base, and we are in the Nether. A ways away from Fusionia because we had portals there and we have farms in the Nether and all that. Oh, I must have gotten out of distance of the beacon. No, I'm still haste 2. Why is it? Oh, okay. Thought I was out of range of the beacon for a moment, so it was like it was acting like you know, hey, we can only mine a little bit at a time instead of a lot. Anyways, yeah, we've decided mainly it's the basalt that I'm after. You can see what I've dug out. Huge sections. There's a lava pool right there. That's why that's not dug out. And we're just kind of filling stuff up as we go. We can go up a number of layers. I'm going to keep going until I have a full inventory of shulks. And then I think I'll set down... I have a respawn anchor on me, so I was thinking, well, do I set a respawn anchor down, and that way I can, you know, it's like a bed, right? So I can come back, or do I just pack everything up and go, and when I need more, I can make the trip back out here again? Not sure. We'll decide later. Anyways. Excuse me. We need the basalt a little bit for the upper section of the walls, the city walls, but then also we need it for the lower section as well. So that's primarily what we're collecting it for. It's kind of funny, right before the fall of Fusionia, you know, the first base with the Oracle, the big pyramid and everything, I had actually spent a whole day in the Nether just filling up shulks of basalt and blackstone and all, just like I'm doing right now, right? And then a couple days later, you know, we get raided and it's all gone. Fun times, fun times. Anyways, it is Easter Sunday tomorrow, so that's when I'm recording this. I don't know when this will come out, probably a week later, something like that. Not much going on. It's interesting, you know, I'm in, you know, I live in Asia, in the Philippines, and, you know, for those that are not familiar with the Philippines and stuff, very religious country, which is fine. Easter is a big thing. I mean, it's basically it's Holy Week, and I know this happens in Latin America a lot too, but you know, so they have a number of, you know, almost the whole week is holidays, and everything shuts down for the most part. It's changed a little bit with capitalism and commercialism over the years, but when I first came here 20 years ago, the first time I went through the Holy Week period, it was like it was dead, you know. And I'm in a city. Yeah, I'm in Manila. Manila has a population of, I don't know, between 27 and 30 million people in the greater Manila area. It is a mega city, bigger than any city in the U.S. Maybe New York is slightly larger. New York City, I think. What, New York's 32 million, something like that. Maybe 34. I don't know. But I mean, you'd think that a city that big, well, how could it be dead? You know, how could you look out your window? I live in a high rise. You know, how could I look out and then all of the city streets, there's like maybe 1 or 2 cars. That's it. Nothing else. You know, and everything's shut down. And mainly it's because, you know, everybody's involved in religious activities. Lots of people go out of the city and go back to their provinces and stuff like that. Um, but it was quite the shock. I'll say that the first time I experienced it, because I wasn't prepared, and it was, it's okay. I'm gonna go out and eat, and it's like there's absolutely nothing open. You could be starving, and you would continue to starve because there's nothing, outside of maybe a 7-Eleven if you're lucky. Um, it's changed over the years, to where it's not like that as much anymore. And of course, some of the businesses have capitalized on it, to where they have like, capitalism. So, okay, let's do special sales and, events and things like that. And so it's changed somewhat, but still. Anyways, I'm here playing Minecraft. I enjoy playing Minecraft. I'm recording a video at the same time. Hopefully you're enjoying it. I've seen a lot of recent comments about people enjoying just the play style because, I mean, you could say that this is old school video style from a YouTube perspective. Because when you go on YouTube, and I know you guys know this better than I, it doesn't matter what game, you see snippets of it, of the people playing. Everything's chopped up. They're just, you only see little bits of stuff because everybody edits their videos to only show what they feel is the most exciting parts or the most interesting parts. And overall, unfortunately too, that's the way the market is. That's the way people are. That's all they want to see. They don't want to sit there. It's funny. It's like, I'm of the mindset to where if I'm going to sit down and watch a series or a movie, for example, or something like that, I'll sit down and I'll watch the whole thing, and I'll either enjoy it or I won't enjoy it, depending on what it was and whatnot, but I'll watch the whole thing to give it a chance and see what it was all about and all that good stuff. And that's how I grew up, that's what you would do. But anymore, especially with youth, that's not what they do. They'll sit there, and especially if they're like on Netflix or something, right? Or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus or whatever. Um, they'll constantly just skip. They'll use the skip button and skip forward and skip forward and skip forward. Watch a little bit, skip forward. Watch a little bit, skip forward. Watch a little. Anytime there's a slower part of the show, skip forward, instead of watching the whole thing, and enjoying the effort and the creativity, hopefully, depending on the quality of the show, that was put into it. And it's a different generation than what I grew up with. I mean, geez, I grew up in the 80s and 90s, finished school in the 90s. I know, I'm old. And you'd enjoy things. And it's the same thing with books, even. I see it. It doesn't matter if it's an audio book or a physical book, a paperback book or whatever. They'll do the same thing. They'll read a little bit and then skip forward. Read a little bit and then skip forward because, this section's, it's not as exciting as enough. It's not interesting enough, so I'm just going to skip a couple pages, type of thing. I don't understand it. It's like, okay, you get through the whole thing, but I guess you're relying on your brain to put together the rest of the story because you didn't see it. Now, to be fair, Hollywood and all of the other big studios that are out there around the world, Bollywood and everything else, they're doing the same thing, where now they're creating shows and movies that basically do the same thing, to where it just skips. Oh, I guess I'm out of range of my beacon. I mean, you can even look at it like, some of the Marvel movies, and everything else that have come out. They've changed their format tremendously in what is shown. And more you get less and less of an actual story, and all that is in the movie or the show is the action parts, because they've determined that audiences won't watch the rest. They're not interested. So, anyways, interesting. Oh, and then I was, another thing, since we're on the topic of movies and stuff, I know this is an exciting episode. I'm just mining in the nether, but, hey, why not? Um, I was watching, I haven't seen it yet, the Minecraft movie, that came out here in April. I've heard some people say that it's decent, other people say that it's good, other people say that it's terrible. I think it depends on who you are. I think probably for a lot of the older generations that grew up with Minecraft when it first launched and, explored the Minecraft world from the beginning, I think a lot of us are like, I mean, there's some interesting parts, and Jack Black is always cool, of course. He's a great actor. But it's not like, I mean, whether it's the animation style or whatever it might be that you call out on it, it's not quite your cup of tea, you could say, right? Um, but for younger kids, um, I think they're the ones that like they just eat it up. And I've been seeing, I don't know if it's happening in other countries outside of the UK and the US specifically, but I've seen what's going on. It's like I don't know what it is with kids today and young adults, you know, to where they go to a movie theater and like, okay, so there's a scene where I guess, they're in a fighting rink for some reason. Again, I haven't seen the movie. And Jack Black and Jason Momoa are fighting, zombies and whatnot because I think they were captured by the pillagers or whatever. And there's a chicken jockey, right? And so Jack Black yells out "chicken jockey" or whatever, or something like that, which is a Minecraft thing, right? We all know it. Um, and I guess because it's in the news, um, audiences, mainly kids and teenagers, they're coming in groups to the theaters and they're dressing up and they're doing things. And when it gets to that scene, they start throwing their popcorn and their drinks all over the place and yelling. And it's like, why? And now, of course, theaters, they're pulling the movie, not because it's not successful, but because of all the damage. Because they don't want to deal with a bunch of stupid teenagers and dumb kids, destroying their theaters because they're just being dumb. I don't get youth today. And I know that it's changed a lot, and for you that are youthful, there's no offense here, depending on what age you are watching, and I'm sure some of you as adults probably recognize this, that society has changed so much in Western culture, especially. Asia is a little bit different still. Neither good or bad, I'll just say that, but to where youth and kids have no respect for anything, and even when they become adults, young adults, they still don't have any respect for anything. Um, and I think part of it is the mindset and change. It used to be like if I did something that was wrong in my parents' eyes, I get in trouble for it. I might get a spanking, I might get grounded where I had to sit in a chair and face a blank wall for 30 minutes or an hour, which, believe me, that was the worst punishment ever, because you're just sitting there, you can't do anything, you just have to sit there and face a wall and supposedly think about what you were doing. Honestly, you really don't think about what you did. It's more of you think about that you never want to sit there again for an hour facing a blank white wall because it's the most boring thing in the world, right? Um, oh, did I just break that pick? Whoops. I have others, but I'm trying not to break them because this is we only have one shulk of picks right now. from our leftover stashes, unless someone else has some. I only have one shulker fix, so I'm trying not to break them because it's all I've got until we find a stash, or of course I build up the ability to make more. Anyways, as I was saying, um, kids today don't get punished. They can get away with pretty much anything. I mean, some do, obviously, but overall, parents don't punish their kids, and then, and it's not because they don't want to. I think it's some of them. Well, I think there's two groups, to be honest. There's the group that says, well, I'm not going to punish my children because my parents punished me, and I think it was just a terrible thing. Okay, I mean, fair, you know. Maybe the experience they had was not great, and that's unfortunate. And then there's the other mindset of I'm not going to punish my kids because I'm afraid that they're going to call the authorities and I'm going to go to jail, which is totally ridiculous, honestly. But they're right. It happens. You know, you ground your child or you spank your child, the next thing you know, protective services is showing up at your door and placing you in handcuffs, you know, and taking the kids away and all of that simply because they complained, oh, they're beating me, I'm getting hit. You know, and it's even worse in schools. You know, schools can't do anything anymore to punish kids. I mean, I remember I was a redhead, all right, and I'll be honest, I was a bully when I was younger, especially in the second, third, fourth grades, fifth grade even. I was a little bully, a mean kid, and always being picked on too, and that's probably why because um, other kids would always carrot top, tomato head, and all that stuff. The carrot top one doesn't quite make sense because carrot tops are green, they're not orange or reddish, so that didn't make sense. Tomato head, okay, that's a little bit closer to my hair color, but but anyways, I was a little bully, I admit it. Did I wasn't well behaved sometimes. And I remember I would get in trouble, like I don't know what I did. I did something on a playground to another kid at one time. This was like fourth grade or whatever. And the playground, I must not have fire prot on my armor. Nope. No fire prot. A lot of people don't put fire prot on armor, but I like fire prot on armor. All my custom gear sets have fire prot just because that reason right there. Especially if you're in the nether, but there's lots of other locations too to where you can catch fire, even if you're fighting a zombie in the daytime. Anyways, back to what I was saying. What was I saying? I don't know what I was saying. Anyways, kids today, they don't get punished. They might get yelled at, and that's the most. And even then, parents have to be careful because they could still get in trouble just by yelling at their kids. I need more shulkers. I'll have to see if we have some. First, let's pick up these just in case I take too much time and they despawn. Alright. Need my E-chest. But yeah, as I was saying, it's unfortunate. No shulkers there. No shulkers there. These would be the two that had... Oh, okay, never mind. There's shulkers. I can make 16 more shulkers. All right. And I do have enough space in my inventory to do that, so we'll be okay. All right. Make all 16. Hopefully I'll have enough space in my inventory for all 16 shulkers. If not, then, well, we'll have to make a second trip. I can make one more. All right, cool. I prefer just to get all this taken care of now. That way I don't have to come back for a while. I just have a nice big stock of supply. All right, let's put this here. Let's put all of these out so that we can get them filled. I doubt anybody's going to come along and discover me. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Those are all full, so we just have these two here. All right. Cool. We can organize my chest here to where we can put more stuff in as well, because I can take this and put these inside that. I also picked up some soul sand and stuff earlier as well, so that I would have a supply of that. Soul sand and soul soil. Stick those in there. All right, good. We are good. Anyways, I'm gonna keep mining, and go from there and collect resources so that I have it, and then we'll be back at base in the next episode. And we're gonna continue our wall designs and our city build and all that. We've got plenty to do. I haven't set up any farms at the new base yet, but I do need to set up some farms. I also want to go back, my alt and everything. I'm on my alt right now, but I have my proxy at the farm base right now. The range. Too far down. Or does it come back on? Really? Not yet. It's right there. It should be on. There it is. Okay. Continue mining. I got more picks, so might as well use them up and not break them. I got distracted talking. Wasn't paying attention. Anyways, keep doing this, and then we're going to keep building. We've got some really cool ideas. We had cool ideas at the last base. Unfortunately, those got put on hold, and I can't continue that build style because the terrain that... Ooh, okay, let's not go that way. Here, we'll just put a barrier here so that we won't accidentally walk into the lava. It doesn't fit with where we're at right now, but you've already heard me talk a little bit about the designs and what we're going to do. We've got some awesome stuff coming. So we're going to try to move on it as quickly as possible to get stuff built, and then build up stashes as well and put the stashes in other locations and stuff like that. We'll have stuff here, of course, but we'll spread stuff out so that we are less likely to be poor again. It's no fun being poor because you have to spend so much time doing what I'm doing right now, collecting the resources or AFKing the farms instead of just building, right? Because that's my thing. I like building, all AFK stuff, that's not a problem, but I like building stuff. Other members of my base, they like doing, stash hunting and base hunting. Others like PvP, so each to his own. They can all do that, but I like building, and so I need resources to do that. It is the advantage of having a nice, good, large stash is, oh, I need this block? No problem, let me go grab it, whereas now, oh, I need this block? Okay, I have to go mine it. All good, all good, though, all good. Found a hole. We're going to fall in the lava over here, too, so we got to watch that. I didn't go far enough, I guess, with my barrier. My inventory's full anyways. I'm leaving blocks behind. Let's go ahead and empty them out. This side seems to have a lot of these lava pools down low. The other side doesn't, so I should be going that direction, and it would be a lot better, but that's okay. We'll just keep on going here. We're fine. Here, let's just put this down here so our auto our auto totem will kick in if we need it. This is where that lava pool is, yeah. Okay, so we've got some gaps here to take care of. Why did I stop here? Oh yeah, because the beacon effect kept running out. Now we can dig it out a little bit. At least until it runs out. Oh, ran out. That's alright. Got us some nice blocks. Alright. Now we gotta come back over here until it comes back in effect. There it goes. You can go a little ways, and you have enough momentum in your movement that you can keep it active. Oops, I'm digging a hole downwards, which I don't want to do. There's a level below this, which I was just on, so don't want to dig down, I'll just fall in the hole. Alright, anyways, we will be back. A little bit shorter episode today, but, you know, had a little bit of a conversation, talked about some random things, including the Minecraft movie a little bit. At some point, I'll get around to seeing it. At some point. Whatever that is. I don't know what it is. I haven't actually been to a theater in a number of years. Actually, since before COVID, I have not been back to a theater. Not because I'm afraid or anything. It's just that everything's available online. You know, why do I need to go sit in a big crowd of people? I know that's a different experience, but I don't know. Anyways, thanks for joining me, everybody. We'll see you in the next episode. Take care.